What?
What's he some sort of BDSM devil?
What?
He said nut, like the nut button.
I don't know, like
Okay, but that doesn't explain the second deaths.
What?
domination or control or something.
The fuck?
That doesn't. That in my mind, that doesn't explain the second deaths.
Hey everybody,
I don't
how's it
get it
going?
either.
Welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad
Oh, God.
Mage. We are back from break. When we left our heroes, they were hanging out in the library. Ezra is researching the Haas Narketa. Bones had a little circuit of the Magical Academy Dwemer Corps. Met up with Cephalosk, Elon Freth, and very briefly followed the individual known as Skriana Shadowdusk. Bones has delivered unto the group the request, the quest, maybe a quest, of Elon Freth.
Nope, I didn't say that.
From the room.
Did you not?
I didn't say that. I said what the request was. I didn't say who it was for.
Oh, well, okay, fine, fair enough. Delivered that there is a quest concerning the transmutation class. And we find ourselves now reconvening back in the library. What do you guys want to do? How are we passing the time? It is...
Ezra! Ezra! Ezra, take a break.
Bones!
You just watch me finger reading through a line, getting to a page break moment before I look up at you. What?
Hey, let's take a break.
It is about 5:30 in the
5:30
evening
PM.
on Hammer the 26th. What do you guys want to do? Ezra, you have about 4 hours more that you could study feasibly. You guys can push through. We can time skip and push through that time period. And then you guys can do things, or you guys can go do things and then you can come back and get an additional 4 hours in. Either way is fine.
I vote
Just
that one.
whatever guys you want to do.
I vote getting through my synopsis personally.
Ezra, you'll be back. They'll be here. Come have fun with us.
I mean, I would like to get an outline of my curriculum before I...
Alright, so
I
4 hours
vote-
later.
Curriculum
Oh,
is exactly
vote.
why.
I also vote that we let Ezra finish his stuff
Wow.
because let's let him get to a comfortable spot in what he's trying to do, and then we work on side quests.
4 hours later.
Did you see Skriana?
Yeah, no, I didn't, but yeah, I did.
Oh,
looked weird.
Hey, did you happen to see Skriana recently?
I did. Hey, she's having lunch right there.
Did you just like, all right.
More like an early dinner, which I was going to say, this is actually a perfect time for you also to get dinner over the next 4 hours.
Whatever. She's eating
Oh.
food.
All right.
I tap Ezra on the shoulder and I say I'll be right back, and I go get both of us some food.
I go with, and maybe Skriana's there. I've got to pester her about this bullshit too.
Perfect.
I'll wait till you get back, I guess.
Wonderful. Okay.
I've had lots of adventures.
One of these things is actually really quick to do. Matashtai, you go get food, and you are barred from entry into the library.
Fuck!
You're too loud, little bitch.
No,
Because I got food?
there is no food or drink in the library.
I put it in my bag of holding and I walk in.
You are barred from entry into the library.
Way.
This is
Wait,
bullshit.
it can detect extra planar items?
Do they have little, tables or standing areas in that hallway leading...
We got like
Yes.
a bar stool out here that we can
actually-
just chill at.
Actually, up and down that hallway where there are the little niches, the little niches with books in them, right? The little shelves. There are little standing tables and things like that where you can...
And I
absolutely
open the door,
sit.
I'm like, Ezra!
You hear this, you hear out from the library, you just hear this shh, and it is forcibly, it blows wind in your face down the hallway. It is that, aggressive.
It's weird. It's like you have a psychic ability to connect with
I
someone.
have to see you. There's bookcases.
You
There
can
are-
set the food down, move your 3,000 feet per second.
Whatever,
Oh,
someone's gonna
and
take our
tell me-
food, but fine, I do that.
The food is gone when you come back.
I slap Ezra.
The food's not gone.
Somehow
It's-
this is your
there.
fault.
The food's there. It's fine. It's fine. The food's there.
This
You're
is
fine.
the first. This won't be the last. It's fine.
Okay. Meanwhile, while that is happening, while food is obtained, you guys are over the course of the next couple hours, you are able to get some meals in. But over the course of the next few moments, Ashes seems inclined to do what with Skriana Shadow Dusk?
Nobody knows.
Speak.
Okay.
That the verb that you're looking for is speak.
Okay. You're up there while Matashtai is ordering food.
Okay.
Skriana is sitting at
This is
a...
like a time rollback.
No, it's not a time rollback. It's just we jumped to doing the end of your thing prior to what was
Okay.
happening. Yeah. Skriana is sitting at the long table, the feast table, with her Grell butler floating behind her, her shield guardian standing at the wall near her. She seems to be kind of like slurping down a slimy looking mushroom soup. And she kind of like very animatedly, like loudly, every time she gets a big button mushroom in her mouth, she like makes this loud pop sound and then goes very like
Okay.
Extra.
I think we can all agree that's too far.
that's too far.
It's too far.
Pickle Pops on the Sunday screen. That's not too far, but like gnashing on a mushroom is too far.
Yes, mushrooms are disgusting.
Mushrooms are
Like,
amazing. Get out of
open
here.
mouth,
Mushrooms are
showing
great.
chewing. Like that's.
We've now
not-
learned who the sociopaths of the group are.
Fuck
No
off. Next
seafood,
you'll think
gotcha.
fucking cilantro's disgusting or delicious. Sorry, I think it is disgusting.
I was gonna say you had me hating you, and then you reversed it, and we're okay.
I hate
Wait, okay.
cilantro.
Who are
You
the
don't like
cilantro?
cilantro
Cilantro tastes like soap, people.
It's
No, I
disgusting.
love
Soap.
cilantro.
Soap. Tastes like
soap.
soap.
Yeah,
Sorry, it
absolutely.
tastes like soap.
Fucking
I want to
worthless
like it. I want
garbage
to like
vegetable.
it, but it tastes like soap.
It tastes
I
like
don't
nothing.
wanna
Tastes
like
like
it. I hate
straight
it.
ass.
All right,
It's-
how many
I-
people eat asparagus and it makes your pee unbearably
That's-
smelly?
Not mine, but I like
I
asparagus.
don't have that issue, but I like asparagus.
Oh, I like asparagus too, but I can't
I,
piss without gagging.
it's not that potent for me.
Yeah,
I have
it's,
ex-
it's definitely
Sure.
not that bad.
I have
It's
experienced
terrible.
that with people, so I do know that is a thing. But no, that is not that bad
Like,
for me.
I refuse to
Smelly
eat
pee.
asparagus because I don't want to throw up when I go pee.
Stop smelling your pee.
Some people just got sniffers. Anyways, moving on.
Oh.
There are so many things to say there, but I'm just gonna like let that one slide on by.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
Dozens. My
Jay
God.
the never nude.
Oh.
All right, Jay. Ashes, you are in the feast hall. Matashtai is nearby. You're not alone,
Good. All right. Cool.
but
So
yeah.
I'll kind of like slowly walk up to Skriana and I'll try to like time it so that I'm between like.
as you
mushroom
walk towards her,
inhales.
you do see that the shield guardian goes from a more reclined, like low power mode to like a.
It's like, don't fuck around. You find out.
It's like ready to murder mode.
Yep.
It's just a shield.
And
guardian.
I'll like look at it and like keep an eye on it. Skriana, right?
Kind of like looks
Look at
over her
eyes.
shoulder at you, and you see she's just got this mouth. She's like in mid chew.
this
She's just
mouth.
like,
Hey baby, what that mouth do?
and she's just got a mouthful of like mushrooms and juice and slop dripping down her chin.
Mm-hmm.
And she just looks at you with this wild look in her eyes, like a deer in a headlight kind of look.
Would you recommend?
Hop around.
She takes the bowl and she spins around with it, and you see kind of like sloshes, a couple mushrooms fall out, and she like thrusts it up at you. Her mouth's still wide open, the mushrooms all in her teeth and her...
Okay. I'll
least hostile she's been to
I'll like
us.
pick a mushroom out and I'll eat it.
I mean, it's a decently cooked mushroom stew. Roll me a 1d20.
Good. Oh.
She attacks you for stealing her food.
Oh, no, the shield guardians.
The growl comes out of the invisible spell it had and
Mm-hmm.
beaks your life out.
Hey, look, something that's 2 digits.
Pretty tasty.
Wow.
I mean,
There wasn't a
it's
con
mushrooms, so
Yeah.
I don't know if Ashes is particularly into mushrooms or not, but I mean, if he is, they're
As
well
someone
made. It's
who,
a nice broth. It's got that mushroomy flavor, that kind of like umami media-esque
Umami.
flavor.
Umami.
It's good.
Yeah,
yes,
I would
the
imagine
umami
it's
is
someone who's
perfectly
lived in the
matched.
woods for a little bit and done his fair share of
Sure,
foraging.
yeah,
is
absolutely.
Probably fine with mushrooms.
Okay.
Listen, Skrion, I was wondering if I could ask you about something. Does the name Cresta ring a bell? Elf, very old.
That's the rest of it.
And
Last
Jeremy
name
is going back into his Google Doc for
50,000
6
pages.
hours.
last name Ilargia, or what is it? Ilargia? What is it? I can't remember the
It should be Ilargia.
Ilargia. Okay. It's been a while since. It's also got a capital I. Which,
Ilargia. She just kind of like blinks at you, and she kind of like she swallows, right? And you've taken a mushroom, so she kind of like pulls the bowl back down and sets it on the table, and she looks at you and she says, "Red shadow, blood, all the way down."
oh God. So, is that a yes? It's a real cryptic. Look, I
You
need.
didn't study insanity in high school?
No, not really. No.
So what you really need is to get tongues before you.
Yeah, you gotta get some tongues, boy.
Hold up, my oh my.
Language is apparently she's speaking common.
But is she though?
Are you saying that she is all the way down in Undermountain?
Shadow on the path. Blood streams through. You follow the blood.
Why did I think this conversation was going to go differently?
Why did you?
Honestly, this is going much better than I
This is
anticipated.
way more understandable than
Like-
I was expecting.
Well, down on the path. Right.
I expected open hostility.
I expected very much more cryptic vernacular.
Still pretty cryptic.
It's less cryptic than it could have been.
Yeah, I suppose. It's also sorry for flipping between in and out of character so quickly. So is that like 4 floors down or 8?
She kind of like looks at you quizzically because she doesn't understand.
Okay.
Then she kind of like grinds her teeth. She says, glass shards break. Don't grind them. If you do, Mother will come for you.
Yeah. Agreed.
You don't want that.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you finish eating. I appreciate your time. Also, thanks for sharing. The mushrooms are pretty good.
Like, cocks her head and again says, "You seek the delving stone."
Oh, she's lucid.
Silly man. You're talking to the wrong shadow.
All right, now that is way too specific. That is too fucking specific.
You see a brief moment of lucidity in her eyes, and then it's gone.
I feel like she's like Claire from the, or not Claire, what's her face, the weird one from the Breakfast Club. The
Oh God, I know what you're. Okay.
was
Okay, boomer.
Wow, I'm still listening. Continue. I just gotta
Right.
wash my eye
Good.
out.
the wrong shadow. What? The only other person with shadow in their name was Marta, and did not seem to know anything about Caressa. So
Oh, she didn't want to talk to you about it.
yeah, well, God, I mean, if she's sitting on information, I might as well consider that shit gone.
Just because her name is Shadow doesn't mean she is the
Well,
shadow.
I mean,
that's
the only
being
other shadow I was
creepy.
thinking about was the fucking teacher, but he's, the necromancy teacher.
Yeah,
is,
Nestor is not one to fuck with. So
Yeah.
unless you have tangible reason to believe he is a lead, maybe don't.
Oh come on, he's just a teacher.
Yeah,
He's there to
just
shape young minds.
a teacher. He's there to inhabit young minds.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to bother her much longer. I'll say thank you, and I'll help Matt carry food back to the library, which we will be barred from entering.
A few moments do pass after your conversation begins and ends with her before Matashtai's the food that he orders and assumingly the food that you order arrives. And so you're kind of like standing there just with Matashtai kind of like discussing things or just hanging out. As you leave, you hear Skriana kind of like giggle to herself and get up. And she walks east towards the kitchen. Stops in the doorway and looks back at you. And you see that kind of like brief moment of lucidity again. She says, "What are you seeking?"
Wow, that's a. I seek the location of Carestra Ilgaria. I need to find her.
What you seek does not lie within Shadow Dusk Hold. The shadow you're looking for is that one made by Shar. Seek out on Braxikar and Vanrak's Doom. He leaves.
All right, well, those are words.
Mm-hmm. Braxikar is actually mentioned in my actual prophecy.
Is?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Because
like a
now
shadow of
that's
his
fresh on my
plans or
mind, and I see it right here.
Now,
Yeah,
Matashtai does the whole yelling to Ezrah. Ah, Ezrah! Food is able to be had. Continue conversations or anything else that you guys want to do while we transition over the course of the next 4 hours.
I just relay the during our dinner break or whatever the fuck this is, my key points of my outline and what's already been discovered in the last hour and a half or whatever the fuck it's been.
Fantastic.
And that progress is being made.
Wonderful.
All right, if we're gonna be here for 4 hours after dinner, I'm leaving again.
Have fun.
I'm not gonna go and like do quests or anything. I'm just gonna go and fuck around.
And find out.
Well, hopefully not find out. I don't know, but finding out might be fun.
Okay.
At least for us, it would be.
That's hurtful and unnecessary. Well, never mind. I'll just wait here then.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
What do you want to do?
Nothing.
Now you sound depressed. What do you want to do?
I am depressed.
That's why I'm asking you what you want to do.
I want to go find the twins.
Okay.
Either one of them.
Where do you want to look? Where's your initial scenario?
I will start with their dorm rooms.
Okay. You after dinner, you head through the halls back towards dorm Descentia, and eventually find your way back to that territory. And you go knocking on doors.
I go knocking on doors.
Are you looking for... I mean, you're standing in front of the doors labeled as Turbulence and Violence. Is there a particular door you would like to knock on first?
The closest one.
Okay.
Perfectly equal.
No, they're not. One is here and one is
distant.
there.
Yeah. Roll for me a d20.
A 10.
There is a brief moment, and then there is a... Who is it?
It's me, Bones.
Your best friend.
Who the fuck is Bones?
You must not be the one that I met.
What? Met? Are you...
I'm the cat.
Those stupid people from earlier?
That's hurtful, but yes.
What do you want?
Very reductive.
To talk?
Why? About what?
You seem like an interesting person. Long
I
silence.
only want to kill you and take your mantle to the dude who tried to kill you before.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay,
And now
cool.
you get the tap taps.
You hear a little bit of commotion, and then on the other side of the door, you hear movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the door opens. And you see standing beyond... she takes a step back, but you see the horned tiefling Violence.
Oh, hey. Is she the one that showed us around, or is she the one that got fireballed?
Violence would be the one that took you to see Elon.
Okay.
Turbulence is the one that got fireballed.
Do they look exactly the same?
They look pretty much identical, yes.
Okay.
I say
So,
they
hey.
look They look very similar, but they have slightly different hair, and they're done up, right? Like they're done up and wear different clothing as if to separate themselves. But from a physical appearance, they are identical twins.
Oh, okay, got you.
So you can
Oh,
tell the difference
hey.
between them, yeah.
Yeah, so, oh, hey. Okay, can I come in?
You're a curious one. What do you want? I'm not really one for idle chit-chat.
I say to Mossy real quick. There anybody invisible around here?
Say that in...
Aaron. I tap my foot on the ground and say, Mozzie, there anybody watching us?
She looks at you and she says, What's that? What's that about? And you hear from Mossy, who's not especially stealthy, right? Like, you hear this kind of like up from the ground of like, you know, there are other people nearby, but no one like, you know, hanging out.
Okay. Gotcha. Look, there's a guy who's an asshole who was talking about you, and I just wanted to see why. You want to talk inside, or
you
what?
just narrowed things down to 10 other people, potentially including yourself.
No.
Like, you want me to invite you into my room. I don't know you, and you're talking about there's some asshole that blah blah blah. Like, that's a lot of people. Give me some more specifics and maybe I'll consider it.
She's the one that showed us around. All right, I quietly whisper. Say, the red one. Or the one in the red robes.
Yeah, that one's a pretty big shitter. What about
Yeah,
him?
he is. He doesn't like you very much.
That is not new information.
What'd you do to him? Well, I say that. He didn't like me very much either. And I didn't do anything to him.
You see that she was about to respond with something, and your response has kind of like clipped her response.
Oh, well, okay.
And she kind of like... You see, it, like, she's gonna respond to you anyways, right? But, like, you cut off what her immediate response would have been. So she is going to give you a tamer response.
Okay.
And she says, I would assume that his issue with me has to do with the fact that I don't worship the ground that he walks upon and am not his concubine.
Hmm. Yeah, that tracks. Well, I don't know about the concubine thing, but... Okay, cool.
You can tell she is kind of like studying your reactions to these things. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Perception.
The wall next to you feels warm.
The wall, like here or here?
No, the one over next to Turbulence's door.
Oh, like right here?
Yeah.
Okay. I say, do you and your sister want to talk or what?
Roll an insight check for me.
Okay.
16. Violence looks at you and she says, I can have a discussion without my sister. There's no need to involve her in any...
No, but she's right there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know I do this for a living, right?
I'm still alive, so obviously I've been doing something for a living myself.
Fair enough. Okay, well, huh.
I'm not against having a conversation with you.
Okay. Cool.
If you want to talk about particulars and other parties, why don't you bring up your friend?
Okay. I tap him. Come on up, Mossy.
Okay. Mossy,
So, I think I've asked this before. Just make sure, like, when he's moving through stone, he's not, like, disturbing the ground, right?
depends on how close he is to the surface of the ground, right?
So
Like,
does he,
if he's...
melt out of it.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
thing,
if he
right?
just
Like,
comes up to the middle of this chick's floor, is there going to be, like, a...
no, he doesn't, like, boom, Kool-Aid Man up through the floor. He just kind of like...
Yeah.
He kind of like,
yeah.
yeah, he kind of like, the concept of earth gliding is basically almost of the idea of that, like, earth-like creatures just meld with the floor. In technicality, I think that Mossy probably should not be able to earth glide here because this is worked stone.
Probably not. I don't know.
However,
I thought it was just cool.
yeah, however, I generally tend to play, because I think, Earthglide doesn't get used 99.999999% of the time in the game, so I think it's just kind of cool. But I do believe, technically, you're not supposed to be able to glide through unworked stone, or through worked stone, meaning that it's more along the lines of, like, an earth elemental just melding with the earth, right? That kind of idea. But in this instance, again, I think it's cool, so I think we just allow it. So, Mossy kind of like comes coalescing up out of the floor.
Say, this is Mossy.
He kind of like grinds at Violence, and she just kind of shrugs and she just says, all right. I don't have any idea what he's saying, but sure.
What do you say? I tell her what he said.
He just said, yeah, I'm Mossy.
He said, yeah, I'm Mossy.
In kind of like response to your introduction. Because Mossy doesn't exactly have good people skills.
Yeah.
I mean, what, Mossy I think is rocking like a 12 charisma, if that.
I'd be shocked if it was that high.
10 charisma. Baseline. The door to the east or west of you opens. And there is a little mini heat wave that kind of comes out of it.
Mhm.
And Turbulence steps out of the door.
A heat wave, weird.
And Violence just kind of motions and steps back and allows you entry into her room.
I say, oh, hey. And I'd walk in.
Okay. Turbulence follows behind. Closes. And there are a number of different things that you notice within this chamber immediately, so let's go ahead and point those out real quick.
What's the little hole? What's the little hole?
So, number of things that you notice real quick within this chamber. Chamber is furnished much like the others that you've seen, with a bed, a footlocker, a writing desk, a small cushioned chair. All of the furnishings are relatively disheveled. They're marred with claw marks, burn damage, pitting, etc. There is a portrait of Halaster on the western wall with a just furious visage, just real mad looking. And it appears as if someone has painted a thick black mustache on his face. Set into the south wall are a series of tubes marked reading niche, headmasters, worm riddles, kitchen, study hall. And then there is a section of the western wall, this hole that you have noticed, that has been neatly removed, and you can see just barely into the adjacent room, though the entryway is too small for an arm, even an arm, to pass through.
Look neat.
And upon your recognition of this situation, Violence and Turbulence just both look at you and say, "It pays to have some openness between us."
Okay. Cool.
Don't make us regret talking. For clarity, and this is Violence speaking,
Yeah.
we will kill you.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Why do you
Well,
want to talk
I
to
guess
us?
For equal clarity, Nihilus wanted me to kill you. But he's kind of an asshole, so...
You hear Turbulence sigh behind you. And she closes the door, by the way. I'm just not going through the trouble of actually doing it myself. You hear her sigh behind you, and she's... Of course. Our time is running out here, sister. We should leave. This is pointless at this juncture. We're not gaining anything. And you see Violence raise her hand to Turbulence, and she says, "You've got a big mouth, sister." She gestures at you. "What do you want?"
Well, mostly I wanted to see, if you were worth killing. But, I think he's an asshole now.
Worth killing. Do we muster up to your, I don't know, requirements?
Well, I mean, if you'd been jerks, I don't know, maybe, but... you're nicer than he was.
Turbulence. Note that in the future, we should be less jerks, just in case that means we're nicer than someone so that we don't get killed. Because apparently that matters.
I don't know, sometimes.
Violence looks at you, and she just has this almost kind of wroth look in her face. It's just like... People like you piss me off.
Why?
You just said that you would have killed us if we weren't nicer than that bastard.
I mean, if you deserved it, but you don't seem like you deserve it. So why?
What makes you get to decide whether or not we deserve it?
Because I'd be the one doing the killing.
What is the point of this conversation?
I don't know, you guys seem neat, and I don't have a lot of friends down here.
This is your attempt to make friends? By
Yeah.
coming to us and saying, "Oh, I could have killed you"?
No, by coming to you and saying, "Hey, someone wants to kill you, but I am just kind of warning you because he's a jerk."
Think of bringing food?
I did
sending a
not.
gift, making small talk,
I thought
maybe
I
just
did make
visiting
small
us
talk.
in a class.
What class? I don't. The last class I saw her in, she was getting fireballs thrown at her.
And
Well, it seemed like a really solo activity.
To be fair, fireballs are AoE. You could have joined in.
that's what
Collaboration.
turbulence. There you go. Right. Mitch just says what turbulence says because I'm not fast enough.
Great. All right, well, that's fair enough. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Just kind of like being up front. I introduced you to Mossy. That was kind of small talky.
Turbulence is kind of like leaning next to the wall where the copper tubes are now, and she says, "Look, I think what my sister is trying to get at is that we appreciate the warning about good old Nihilus.
Oh, so I guess you guys knew, huh?
I mean, we knew he was a shit. We didn't know he was actively trying to get people to kill us. No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I assumed that I wouldn't want to be in a room alone with him.
Yeah, he's real creepy like that.
Yeah, he is.
Anyway,
All right.
so
Yeah.
what are you guys studying? What are you guys down here for?
You really are just this inquisitive little... What? Do you have an end game?
Well, yeah, but I was gonna do small talk first.
I think we're past that point.
Like, no,
Okay.
you said we do small talk. I'm going back to small talk.
I mean, like, in the future, if you want to make friends with someone, probably try small talk before the, hey, I was contracted to kill you.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, people
But
here
we're
haven't
past,
been very like
we're past that
forthcoming,
point now, so I don't... The small talk just feels weird.
I was trying to ingratiate myself because people here have been really tit for tat, so I thought I would come with something.
Okay. Are you trying to ingratiate yourself for something?
Well, I mean, I had a question.
What's
Well,
your
a couple
question?
questions. Well, I had a couple questions. Hey, what was that guy working on when he died? Why was he in the conjuration area?
Violence, kind of like... Yarick? He was practicing conjuration.
Just like in general?
I mean,
Was there like an assignment he was working on? Like,
he wasn't especially good at conjuration. I think he was... I mean, I know he can't do anything on my level, so I think he was just trying to conjure minor fae or something like that.
did anyone else know what he was going down there to try and conjure?
I assume he was given curriculum by the headmaster.
Hmm.
I mean, either that or he found something in the library that he was trying to practice. The library has plenty of spells for all of us to learn, to, you know, write into our spell books, to try to work on.
Huh.
Whether or not he had the skill to actually accomplish the task is a different matter.
Well,
Narek wasn't
sure,
exactly
yeah.
the most gifted student.
Hey, I'm not a magic cat, so I'm not a very magical cat. So, you know,
Good clarification.
forgive me if I'm wrong here. Is it possible to make somebody summon something they didn't intend to? Like, actually control the outcome. Like, if you knew, hey, I want to go. I'm going down to try and summon some Fae. If you changed the circle in a certain way, and then I did the Fae things, would what you want come out?
Sure, absolutely. If I knew, I mean, it would depend, right? Like, I couldn't make it to where you trying to summon one thing would summon anything that I wanted. But if I knew what you were trying to summon, I could adjust a few things to make a different thing come out. So the way that the conjuration circle works is there's a lot of base ones. There's a lot of base preparatory runes. And then there's runes that are adjustable based on a broad field. And then there are runes for specifics. So if Yarick needed to summon something particular, it would need to probably adjust some of the general broad runes, as well as many of the specific runes. If I knew something that was very close to that thing, I could alter some of the things that he wasn't going to alter, right? Some of the specifics that he wasn't going to alter, or some of the generals that he wasn't going to alter. And if he didn't double check his work, he would end up with a different result than intended.
Weird. Hey, did you guys know I used to know Marta?
You hear kind of Turbulence kind of scoff, and she says, "Did you try to make friends with her too?"
Well, I mean, she used to be a lot nicer.
I mean, kinda.
Really? Because she's
Still
always
relating.
been kind of a just obsessed bitch, honestly.
Oh, really? What's she obsessed with?
As far as I can tell, Elon.
Elon? Why? I mean, Elon's interesting, but not that interesting.
That's rude.
I like him. We're kind of friends.
Oh, is this what you say about your kind of friends to your other kind of friends? So will you tell Elon that we're not that interesting?
No, I would say you guys are pretty nice, and we had a nice conversation.
Violence side-eyes you.
Damn.
Well, I mean, so far it's been nice. I say you got to meet Mossy. Mossy, did you like? How do you feel about this?
Mossy looks at you, and kind of grinds out and says, "Bored. Tense.
Mossy's having a great time.
No food."
I toss him a shard of amethyst. I said Mossy's having a great time.
There's just purple mist above him.
Anyway, so she's always been like that since she got here?
Yeah, she's been like that pretty much since she showed up.
Weird. Hey, she was asking you for help the other day, right? What was that about?
She seems to be focused in conjuration, and it's Violence who's speaking, by the way.
Yeah.
I am a bit of a good hand when it comes to abjuration, and there's a particular binding spell that she probably needs to get her head out of her ass and learn. But I am not her teacher, and she doesn't make it especially worth my while to try to help her.
Yeah, I hear that. I've tried to talk to her a few times since I've been here.
Yeah, good luck.
And she is not nice.
Not at all. Even when she's asking for a favor.
Hey, when'd she get here?
I don't... Been a while, a couple of weeks, I think.
Really? Shit. Did we fuck around a couple weeks? This is out of character. Did we fuck around a couple weeks, Since resting here, yeah, I guess we did. We did some rest and shit. Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while since you guys rescued her.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was actually
Weird.
more towards the beginning of y'all's tenure.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Interesting. So you don't know what she's trying to conjure?
I am sure that it has to do with planar binding of some sort.
Oh. Like a devil.
Devils, demons, other fiends, celestial creatures, elementals. It could be anything, just not of this plane.
Interesting. Hey, either of you guys into transmutation?
They both kind of look at you, and Turbulence kind of says, it's not either of our specialties.
I just heard that class was on hold. I just was wondering if you guys knew why.
Not particularly.
Okay, cool. Well, is there anything I can help you guys with? You guys have been so nice and talkative, you know.
Persuasion check.
Okay. Nat 20.
Wow.
Oh my god. Finally happened. A roll.
Right.
A roll.
A roll! There's a look that passes between the two of them, right? Then Violence looks at you and she says, fuck it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Yeah, we came here because we were invited and we thought that this would be a place where we could become something and do something. But every turn just feels like we're dodging crazy power trip bald men, or being given the runaround by teachers, or trying to not die to random shit.
Sure, yeah.
She looks at Turbulence again, and Turbulence nods at her. Violence looks at you and says, at this point, I think we'd like to take our chances elsewhere. But we can't leave.
Oh, why not? They check your coat too?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know what it is that you all have going on, but most of the regular students that are here for, well, until the headmaster says they're free to go.
Oh. Whoa.
So we'd like to get out of here. But we don't have a good way to do that. You figure out a good way for us to do that without risking our skin? We'd owe you one. We'd owe you a big one.
You don't know the way to leave, or you need his permission to leave?
Oh no, we know ways to leave. But well, leaving up means going past the hand, and
Okay.
we're pretty sure that means it's gonna start fireballing us.
Is that what that does?
Okay.
And if we trip the alarm, then that could mean that the headmaster comes out of us after us. And we don't want to go down. We would like to get away and not die horrible deaths, so, you know.
Okay.
It's kind of a, I don't know, it's a strange request. It's wild. It's not clean cut. It's not retrieve this spork of latitude for us and we will give you this thing. But you asked us what we're interested in. We want out of this place.
Okay. So you can't just like yell the passcode and turn the hand off and then walk out the front?
What if the headmaster comes after us? What are we supposed to do then?
Are you gonna stay in Undermountain?
No, I mean, what if the headmaster comes after us immediately after the passcode is said? Like, in that moment. Have you not noticed that the headmaster just crops up right the fuck quick?
No.
You look over your shoulder and see Headmaster.
No.
I suppose not. Okay. I don't think I've seen any. Hey, are there any of those gates on this floor? Arches?
They both look at you like they do not know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Like
Guess
they
not.
haven't spent enough time in Undermountain to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, then I'll describe it. You know, stone archway. Usually have a weird looking symbol at the keystone at the top. Pretty reminiscent of a. I mean, generally they look like a wall or something, but they're not walls.
They both kind of like think for a second, and then Turbulence says, "I think there's one south of Conjuration Classroom in that just like random room that's there."
South of Conjuration Classroom. Oh yeah, there is that one. I remember that now. What was that? Does anyone remember what was that one? I know we fucked around with it. Does anyone remember that keystone?
I don't think so.
Okay. Huh. Alright, well, okay, what about this? What if the headmaster is busy and I know a time where he's busy? Would that give you enough time to leave?
I mean, that seems like it would probably help. Turbulence like looks at Violence, and there's kind of like a moment where they're like looking at each other, and then Turbulence says, "I would rather take my chances than stay here this much longer. I mean, we're literally to the point to where if we go out on our own, we run the risk of Nihilus trying to murder us in the hallways. And that's just one person. Do we step wrong and get turned into purple mist because Skriana thinks the moon rose in the west on the wrong Friday?"
Well, I'll work on that. Because we're friends now.
There's a little bit of a deflated kind of like air, right? Like it like Violence and Turbulence both feel as if they've kind of like spilled something important to you. But they both realize that there's no magic switch that you're just going to be able to be like, bloop, it's all better now, right? So they both seem depressed, right? Like they both just have this kind of like very deflated presence about them now. And Violence just says, "Yeah, that's great. We would appreciate it."
Hey, if you find any more of those arches, let me know.
Are those?
Might be a way out.
Important to you? Because you haven't explained what they are.
Well, that's just they're portals. They connect places in the dungeon. In Undermountain.
What places?
Various places. I don't know how to describe it.
Are they at random or are they specific?
They're specific.
Do you know where any of them go?
I know where a lot of them go.
Any of them that are here?
I don't remember the one that's down there.
So no.
Do you remember what the keystone is?
A book.
I don't
open
recall that.
book. With an image of a larger area that looks like maybe a chapel filled with drow. So maybe not somewhere we want to send them.
That sounds less than ideal.
Eat
I
him
know
through the
where-
portal.
Eat them to Obsidia right in
them.
front of the fucking matron mother.
Okay.
That'll go well.
I'll say, look, I know where a lot of them go, but you know, until I see the keystone, unless it's the keystone I've already seen, I couldn't tell you.
They go back to being a little deflated, and Violence says, "Oh, okay."
All right, well, you know, that's fine. That's just if you find any more, there's usually a couple,
Yeah,
at least from my experience.
we'll keep our eyes out.
I'll let you know when the you know, when the headmaster's going to be occupied.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay,
I'll plug it up.
definitely going to. Well, I didn't.
Actually,
That was better. That was
Um,
better than it could have been.
yeah, there is obviously both of them feel like they seem as if they're struggling with something, right? Like they both seem depressed by the situation. But there is a kind of like air of like, least you don't seem to be a shitty person trying to murder them. Maybe things are going to be better with your help. Right? So like they're that it's mostly still depression, right? But there's just like this potential air of a hope, right? Bones, I think, in this moment, understands that this is a tenuous thread that is easily squashed. But you now have this kind of like hopeful in with the Horned Sisters.
Sweet.
So, kind of
The
like
Horned Sisters
anticipating
is a
this
Terrible nickname.
the Horned Sisters, the Horned Siblings, the Horned Twins. The feeling as if
The horny
this,
girls.
No.
God damn it.
No,
As
way
if
worse.
this conversation is
Way
kind of
worse.
dying down. Bones, is there anything else that you want to like discuss with them before they kind of like, you know, let you take your leave or kick you out to discuss things amongst themselves?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Then, I mean, they part ways with you amicably. There is definitely that air of kind of like they are not sure whether they have made the right decision in broaching all of these subjects with you. They're not sure that anything will come of it, right? But there is that tenuous kind of like hope that you see in their eyes as you leave. And that's that.
Okay.
All right.
See you guys later.
Job done. Time passes. That takes quite a bit of time. And I think as we kind of like move more into the evening of this day, dinners are had, research is done, etc., etc. We're gonna end on a particular thing. That thing is right thing. This is kind of like the sticky wicket here, right? Is Ezra, you are doing a lot of research, right? And I'm wanting to give you information as you are completing portions of the research, but you're not done with all of the research. So I'm having to be choosy on what I can tell you in this particular instance.
You could just tell me it all. That's fine.
I could, but I'm not gonna. You put together an outline. You work for the next several hours putting together an outline of what all you're going to have to research, what order it makes sense to research things in, to read things in, right? And you get a good understanding of what you are actually reading through and why it's potentially important. You already ascertained through the research that you conducted some pretty important information about the Halaster, right? The idea that it is an artifact designed to channel the raw power of the plane of elemental air. You're already aware, just because of some of the preliminary stuff that you've done, of some of the other things involved, namely, you're able to verify that the Halaster project is the brainchild of the archmages Arcturia, Trobriand, and Izat. Now, the names Arcturia and Trobriand are known to you as members of Halaster's Seven. The name Izat is not.
Do I know for certain he is not one of the seven? Do I know who the seven are enough to say that name is not one of the seven?
I would say, due to your recent history, specifically like traveling through that hallway where it had all those statues, Azat's name was not present there. I don't know that you are, like, the Halaster 7 is a relatively obscure subject, right? And you haven't done a lot of research into it. So I don't know that you are so familiar with it that you can just immediately be like, Izat is not one of the seven. But I think of what you've seen, you're probably in the stage of, I don't think he's one of the seven kind of scenarios, right? And none of what you're reading insinuates that he is one of the seven. But it does insinuate that he is a mage of power on par with the seven. As you are reading through things and you're kind of like coming to grips with what is going on, you do get kind of like a base concept of maybe some of the particulars of the project. Arcturia and Trobriand work within the project, the Halaster project, as masters of transmutation and enchantment. And they, as you're reading through, seem to be responsible for a large majority of the actual construction and enchanting of the artifact for the project. While this mystery mage, Izat, seems to be more of a managerial role, controlling and running the team of assistants, your father being one of those, excepting for the non-managerial thing that Izat seemed to be responsible for, was that Izat was apparently responsible for obtaining a core fragment for the project from the plane of elemental air.
Izat was required to do that?
Yeah. So, Arcturia and Trobriand handled the majority of the transmutation and the enchantment, so the actual construction of the project. Whereas Izat seemed to be the one who was, like, doing the managing of the whole project and obtaining the core piece for the project. As you're kind of like compiling notes, you are able to kind of like you just come upon information about Azat naturally a bit. So I say that that's an incorrect way to phrase that. Sorry. Most of the information that you're coming upon, you find is written by the mage Azat. And then with a little bit of digging, right, like adjacency type scenario, you're able to find some information on Azat himself. You are able to find that this was a powerful mage from around the time of Troubles. So that's 100 years or more in the past. However, as you're kind of like searching through, again, adjacency, there is remarkably little information on him aside from some minor mentions in what you're looking through, right? Like there's like plenty of, oh, he wrote what I'm reading here, but that doesn't talk about him, right? The only information you find about him, right, is from brief mentions in like the minor accounts of various adventurers who have brief encounters with him. And in most of those accounts, he is mentioned as at least somewhat helpful, right? Like not a supremely evil individual, but he is mentioned as a very powerful individual that rivals some of the other names that you're kind of like experiencing, right? Oh, I think I can't give you more information than that at this particular juncture.
All right.
You're putting together a roadmap for figuring out a fair amount of stuff about the Halaster Blackcloak. You've got all of the information laid out before you. You've gone through, basically at this point, you've gone through your 5 hours, right? Your kind of like preliminary 5 hours. And you've got that estimated kind of 20 hours to kind of finish things up, right?
Am I still feeling like that extra time is going to be beneficial?
That extra time is definitely going to get you details. If you spend at least another day studying this and going through these tomes, you're going to gain more information. You're going to gain details. Whether those details end up being extremely important or pertinent to Ezra's overall goals, that remains to be seen, right? But there's definitely...
But I'm looking at this saying, all right, there's probably going to be threads that require time.
Absolutely information here.
I don't feel like a dick.
No, there's absolutely information here for you to explore. Yeah, 100%.
I just want to make sure I'm not wasting other people's time.
No. Not in the slightest. That is a somewhat anticlimactic moment to kind of like end on. But I think that's really it. Like sometimes in the days of adventuring, you're just spending time talking to people and spending time in a library trying to figure shit out. So, you know what? That's going to be the end of tonight's session. I believe we are potentially back on for next week as well, but it is the holidays, so we will be tentative with our scheduling. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. We'll see you next time for more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Goodbye, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Woo!
I don't know when the YouTube video goes out, but
it goes out on
Christmas.
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah,
They
before
go
Christmas,
up
fuck yourself.
immediately. Like
Oh, yeah.
I take
Don't
a
you know the
day to
timeline?
render these, and then they go up immediately. Get out of here. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.